This part of the video tour is all about how we heat and cool the home. Maida asked specifically how I'm heating and cooling the home. Yes, Maida, it's very important to us that we heat and cool the home in an eco-friendly way, which is why we're doing VRF throughout the whole house. What is VRF, you may ask? VRF is the future of how we are going to heat and cool homes. It's the way everything's moving. It is variable refrigerant flow, but it's basically heat pump technology. If you've heard of heat pumps, they've been around forever, but it's always been commercial office buildings and other commercial buildings that benefited from the technology because it's super efficient, a lot lower cost to run, and now we're seeing that it's moving into the residential space in a big way. It essentially takes, when it's hot outside and it's cooler inside, it shifts those energies around to make sure that you're constantly able to heat or cool the spaces that you want. I did so much research when I was trying to figure out how we wanted to heat and cool the house, and we're lucky because in California we don't have a lot of extreme temperatures. It's fairly temperate the whole time. So, I researched every option possible, and I really landed on Carrier as who was going to offer us the best system, especially with their VRF technology. So Toshiba Carrier has a lot of different options you can choose. What stood out to me is the fact that with the system we're doing here, we can actually zone everything. I basically got every single room in the house zoned differently. So, Zoe likes to sleep really cold. If I'm in the bathroom and I'm, having a shower, I want it a little bit warmer, I can have those rooms in different temperatures. Same with the kids. We can have each kid room a different temperature. So many benefits. That's why I love the fact that this technology is finally making its way through residential, because it's honestly amazing and there's basically no fossil fuel involved in any operation for VRF. This is an example of one of Carrier's handler units. So this is inside here, and then we're ducting all of the AC to the different areas, the heat to the different areas. So this is what a VRF handler unit looks like. And we've got these throughout the house. Every one of these can create those zones that we want, so every room has its own comfort. Got a question from Tanner, who heard in an interview that I'm using heat pump technology at the house and asked if that is the unit that you see up on the wall in a room that heats and cools. That is a heat pump unit. It's a different kind than I'm using here. So you'll see heat pumps in many different ways. Those wall-mounted units are what we call ductless units. So that is connected directly to a condenser outside. You can use it to cool in the summer, heat in the winter. It basically can handle the operation of one room or one large space. Then you can do a similar type unit that is ducted, and that means the unit is maybe up in the attic and you can have ducts that go to a couple of different rooms as well. Mine, because I'm using VRF technology, it's sort of a multi-phase system, so I can have one large condenser operating multiple handling units throughout the house, which give me all those different zones. So yes, you are right that is heat pump technology. It's just a slightly different heat pump technology than I'm using here. Ben asked a question, he's like, do you even need heat in California? Because, well, you're in California. Yes, we do. It actually does get pretty cool here in the winter. In fact, where we are over in the west side, it's at times even like 10 or 20 degrees cooler than it is somewhere like Pasadena or over on the east side. So yeah, it's nice to have the option for heating and cooling. And the great thing is our whole system doesn't use any fossil fuel. So everything is done using electricity, and most of that is electricity we produce right on the roof. It was a monumental undertaking to figure out how to run HVAC everywhere in the house. We've hidden HVAC in cabinet panels, we've hidden it in bump outs and woodwork, you name it. Even in this room, under the floor, we brought it in under the floor before we raised everything up. We did it because you have to make sure that a system is properly balanced. Otherwise, you're gonna have that one room in your house that's always hot or always cold, or you have those zones that you're like, oh, it just feels uncomfortable in here. We want everything to feel comfortable, everything to be energy efficient. So it was a huge, huge help that Carrier came in and helped us design the whole system, which was amazing. Now that it's done, it will pay off for decades now. I am so glad we put the extra effort in the beginning to something that we know we're gonna enjoy more in the future. So we have more videos coming, stay tuned, but keep getting those questions to me on Instagram, because I'm gonna answer as many questions as I can, even beyond this whole video tour.